All right, welcome back. This is going to be part 36 on my presentation on the flood and Noah's Ark. And now we're going to start getting into the atmospheric layers of the planet. And again, guys, some people might be saying, what does this have to do with the flood? and what I'm doing is I'm laying the groundwork up and I'm laying a foundation. And these are questions that get brought up during these type of topics of the flood and Noah's Ark. Matter of fact, this question here, when you're talking about the dating methods, they get brought up on the dinosaurs and man presentation also. Dinosaurs coexisting with man. This topic here could easily been put into that presentation, but I just chose to put it in this one. And so, but at any rate, this is one of those topics. And so maybe even a topic like this would be in a presentation on just the age of the earth. But at any rate, we will rabbit trail quite frequently on all the presentations that I have. And so again, we're not in any hurry. We're taking our time. I want this to be as if we're in a room together and we're having a discussion. And so some of the best classes I've ever had, and Sunday school classes or just other groups and stuff, are groups where we had it like that, where there was nothing really off the table. You can pretty much, if you got a question about something, you can bring it up and then we'll talk about it. Some of the best classes I've had have been, what classes that I've done like that. And so that's what I'm trying to do here. And so, but these are one of those questions that people will bring up. What about carbon-14 dating? How do they do this? How do they do that? And so instead of just going right to it and just hitting that one question, I thought about, hey, why not kind of build up to that, so that way you'll kind of understand a little bit more. Again, I'm not an expert on the topic, but I'll give you what I've learned, and I'll give it to you the way that I learned it, that helped me understand it. And so, and then I think if anybody can understand it at my level, then you can understand it. And so, but if you'll notice on the screen here, we're going to go through the atmosphere layers of the Earth. Now, the ionosphere, 37 to 124 miles up, filters out the powerful X-rays that come from the sun, particularly from solar flares and also deep space. Now, we've talked about solar flares before. And so you guys ought to understand about that. You should ought to be able to have a working knowledge about that. You say, oh yeah, so you can see how I'm building up. I'm building up from the previous one. Okay, next, a layer of ozone restricts the penetration of UV light, which is ultraviolet light. It lies within the stratosphere 6 miles above the ground, extending upwards about another 25 miles, and prevents the energetic UV rays from reaching deeper into the troposphere, the Earth's lowest atmospheric layer, and to the ground. The less energetic UVA light is allowed, which is used as photosynthesis and plant growth. You can see, guys, when you really look at this stuff, you can really see an intellect has put this together. This all did not come by chance. Anything but simple. As well as being warmed by the sun, the Earth emits radiation in the infrared spectrum back into space. However, much of this infrared is absorbed in the atmosphere before it can escape. The atmosphere is more opaque at infrared wavelengths than those of invisible light. Trace gases such as water vapor, H2O, and carbon dioxide, CO2, produce nearly all this trapping effect, helping warm the planet and making it habitable for life. Without greenhouse gases, Earth's temperature would be a whopping 59.4 degrees Fahrenheit colder than its currently average, about 59 degrees Fahrenheit. And water vapor causes about 90% of this warming effect. Carbon dioxide in the air often gets a bad press as the chief culprit for climate change. But it is vital for providing food for plants through the process of photosynthesis. Indeed, plant productivity has surged with the increase of CO2 levels in the atmosphere. Plants use the energy of sunlight to convert water and carbon dioxide into sugars and other carbohydrates. And oxygen is also liberated as a byproduct. In turn, humans and animals consume the plants as food and rely upon the oxygen for respiration, producing water and carbon dioxide as byproducts, the reverse process. This apparently simple cyclical process is all part of the wonderful design of life, a testament to the amazing wisdom of God. However, when the details are looked at, the level of complexity is anything but simple. And you have that individual right there, Andrew Sibley, meteorologist for 38 years. He's the one that made this quote here, and you can see all of his credentials there. Space flight effects on human vascular smooth muscle cell phenotype and function. Get this, guys. The cardiovascular system is strongly impacted by the hazards of spaceflight. Astronauts spending steadily increasing lengths of time in microgravity are subject to cardiovascular deconditioning, resulting in loss of vascular tone, reduced total blood volume, and diminished cardiac output. Microgravity exposure is well known to cause muscular atrophy, bone resorption, flattening of the eye, and more. Some of the more significant maladaptations to arise from spaceflight are found in in the cardiovascular system. Excuse me. Initially, blood decimates to a more uniform distribution throughout the body, expanding the vessels of the upper torso and head to accommodate the presence of increased blood volume. Additionally, the smooth muscle that lines the vascular system and composes the heart loses tone. Overall, this state is referred to as cardiovascular deconditioning and can have serious implications for astronaut health. While these large scale features of cardiovascular deconditioning are known, behavioral changes at the cellular level require more investigation. For example, changes in the cytokine production, the cellular phenotype transition, and angiogenetic or inflammatory potential. Understanding these fundamental changes in cellular homeostasis will be critical to the safe and mindful pursuit of space travel. And so I tell you guys, you can see just how much our planet is designed for us. And especially when we leave it. Especially when we leave it. Now here's the atmospheric levels. Atmosphere levels. You get the exosphere. I'm going from the top to the bottom. Exosphere, the thermosphere, the mesosphere, the stratosphere, and the troposphere. Now, going into the clouds, you got the high level clouds, the mid level clouds, and low level clouds. And if you guys want to pause this and freeze frame it and go over this, you can. But it gives you pretty much, when you see these type of clouds, what you're going to be seeing. And so at the top there, you got that one far off to the right, looks like cirrus, often a sign of a warm front. And then down towards the bottom there, you got the gray layer of cloud cover. And then you can see the clouds over there produces heavy rain or snow. The darker clouds are more producing like the severe weather. And then the lighter clouds, you got more of fair weather, or maybe a layer of clouds that may produce a light rain. And so that's the type of cloud that you'll see. And again, the high level clouds occur at over 20,000 feet. and are made up of mostly ice crystals. And then the mid-level clouds occur at 6,500 feet to 20,000 feet. These clouds can be composed of water droplets and ice crystals. And then the low-level clouds appear at 6,500 feet and are typically made up of water droplets, except during winter. All right, we'll stop right here. Next time, we're going to get into the magnetic field of the earth, and show you some real interesting things there. But you guys, I hope the Lord blesses you real good, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.